It's 9 p.m. Monday night. While the rest of the world slows down, you're tuning in to the Final Boss podcast. This is Motivation Mondays, where mindsets shift, hustle gets honored, and the 6 pillars of success get broken all the way down. We're talking motivation, resilience, sacrifice, consistency, persistence, and perseverance. Hosted by the one and only Turbo, the CEO, bringing real talk, raw stories, and relentless energy to spark your week with purpose. So lock in, take notes, and remember, success ain't just a dream, it's a discipline.
Welcome to the Final Boss podcast, episode number 145. 145, ladies and gentlemen, on our way to episode number 200. Episode number 145, man. I have a great show for you tonight. Oh, man. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't know if I like this this ratio that they're using for Instagram. I don't know if I like it. Let me know what you think. If you're in the chat and you're watching from Instagram, let me know what you think if you like this new ratio that they're doing. It's a portrait versus a landscape. My preference has always been the landscape, but I don't know if I like that. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see. If no one likes it, I'll change it for the next show. Man. Happy Monday. Hey, Sakandi. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Look, I'm gonna get right into it because the Cow Turds and the Las Vegas Scraters are playing football, and I it looks to be interesting, to say the least. So I want to watch that game. So we're gonna get right into it. Episode number 144. Episode number 145. I do apologize. It's Motivation Monday, and tonight, you know, the last couple nights, I should say, the news has been weighing on me. As much as we try to not allow it to, it just gets to a point where you have to say, you know what, enough is enough. And I think I'm at that point, man. I think that it's just too much. It's just too much going on. Too much is being revealed. Too much is being said. I'm like, let's go back when we didn't know. Like, even though we did know, but we didn't know. Now it's 2 times. It was a point where we didn't know, but we knew. But now we know and we know. Like, we really know. So it's just like, you just want to scream. But not to get off topic. It's episode number 145, and tonight we're going to be talking about something amazing, people. Something amazing. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Let me tell you, if you don't know, you will after this show. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight on Motivation Monday. So, Few admin notes I'd like to get out. Few admin notes. First, thank you for joining us. Yes, each and every last single one. Let me get my pen pointer. Thank you for joining us. Yes, you, talking to you. Each and every last single one of you. You guys are winners. You're final bosses. You're motivators. You're smarts. Thank you all for joining us on each episode. Please continue to provide feedback to us, whether it's on comments or email. And if you don't have our email address is info, I-N-F-O, at thefinalbosspodcast.com. All one word. Again, it's I-N-F-O, short for information, at thefinalbosspodcast.com. All one word. For email, if you'd like to check out our website, which has each and every last single one of our episodes, you can go check out our website at www.thefinalbosspodcast.com. All again, one word. Thefinalbosspodcast.com. All one word to check out all of our episodes, each and every single one of them. And there's more features on the website. So if you go to the website, you like what you see, there's more features on it. Go out there and play with it and see what's out there. So got that out the way. The merch site is coming soon. Yay. Woo! Merch site is coming soon. I can't wait. I'm excited. New book is coming soon. The new book is coming soon. And the new book is based off the principles of Motivation Monday. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things in there. I can't tell you. You have to watch and read. You have to watch out for it and read it for yourself. The title of the book, just as a reference point, is #GoTime: all aboard what? The fired up train, baby. The fired up train. And listen, speaking of which, the fired up train is in the building. Tonight, we're going to be talking about sleep. Comfort is the enemy of growth and how to get out of that comfort zone so you too can get on the what? The fired up train. Yes, you too can get on the fired up train, man. And, those are our admin notes for the evening. Make sure you are like, share, subscribe on all of our social media platforms. Our website, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, and Spotify for your audible pleasures, right? And tonight, let's see. I had a quote. These are kind of basic. Here we go. And this is from my main man. Let me tell you, my fellow final bossian. My fellow bossian. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's give it up to The Rock, man. Let's give it up to The Rock. This quote is from him. This is tonight's brass tacks. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. That is from The Rock, the one and only. Right? So that's our brass tacks for the evening. And let me go ahead and set up this other camera so we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling, baby. How's everyone doing out there? Let me know in the chat, man. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know. Boom. The other camera is set. So what's good? Final bosses? What's good motivators? What's good warriors? What's good smarts? What is good in the hood? I am the final boss. And for those who are just now joining us, this is episode number 145. The title of tonight's episode, The Comfort Wake-Up Call. We're going to be waking y'all up, man, getting y'all asses up so you can get ready to do what? Get up on the fired up train. Yes. Today is Motivation Monday. And I have you. I need your attention. I need your attention for the next 60 minutes, right? For the next 60 minutes. And it's not, we usually start at 9 p.m. It's now 9:12, and we are here. And I am here. And we're on this journey together to build the Final Boss community and to build the Final Boss Nation. And to each and every single last one of you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. No matter where you are watching from, whatever time zone, and whatever country you are located in, listen. You just made a great choice. You just made a great choice by being here with us. And listen to this. You chose growth over comfort. You chose growth over comfort by being here. Let's give it up to you, right? You chose development over distraction. That's why you're here. You chose to board the what? Ladies and gentlemen, the fired up train, baby. The fired up train. Instead of staying parked at the station of mediocrity. And tonight, we're going to have a real conversation, not a comfortable one, because we don't move comfort over here. Not a feel-good session, right? Where I tell you everything is fine and you're going to do great. No, we're not doing that. Tonight, we're going to tell the truth. The truth is this. Comfort is unaliving your dreams. Comfort, I say again, comfort is unaliving your dreams. Not your competition, not the economy, not your circumstances, not your past. Comfort. That warm, familiar feeling that you get, right? Seemingly harmless feeling that you just so love, right? That whispers, this is good enough. And if you're in the live right now, drop me a fire emoji and let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know. Drop it right now. Let me see where my peeps at. Where my peeps at? Right? Where my final bosses? Where my warriors? Where my smarts? Where my motivators? Where you guys at? Right now, I got all you guys in the building, ready for battle, ready to get on with this comfort thing. And I want to see each and every last single one of you committed. I want you to be committed to these actions that we're going to be talking about tonight. And let me tell you why this episode matters. Let me tell you why this episode matters more than most. And look, Final Boss Nation, Final Boss community, we're here to identify problems and come up with solutions. That's it. Nobody else is out there. People are doing sound bites. People are regurgitating other people's information. People are getting trapped in echo chambers, reciting and recycling. That's all they're doing. Nobody is coming up with solutions. Well, guess what? On the Final Boss podcast, we come up with solutions, goddammit. That's what we do. We come up with solutions. That's what we're here for. So let me tell you this, right? When I was deployed, Afghanistan and Iraq, where comfort could get you unalived. Listen, I've built multiple businesses from scratch, from an idea, and turned them into something tangible, right? Pay attention, right? I led soldiers, right? Where comfort could cause people to be unalive. I've competed in markets where comfort means extinction. And you know what I learned, man? Let me tell you what I learned. The same enemy that threatens soldiers on the battlefield threatens entrepreneurs in the boardroom, athletes in the gym, dreamers in their living rooms. It's all the same. They all have the same enemy. And you want to know what it is? Of course you do. Of course you want to know what it is. And guess what? I'm going to tell you. Hold on, let me get rid of this display. That's in a way. Yeah, got that out the way. Thank you. It is comfort. It is comfort. Enemy is comfort. And tonight, man, listen, we're going to be declaring war on comfort. We're going to expose how it operates, where it hides, and how to defeat it. Right? We'll talk about the 6 building blocks of reward. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the cornerstone of magnificence. We're going to be talking about momentum code, right? But we're going to be talking about this from the lens of one basic central truth. And here it is. You cannot board the fired up train while sitting in the comfortable seat. You cannot do it. So grab your notebooks, right? Turn off the background noise. That game you watching, you can watch it again, right? This is episode number 145. And before we can defeat comfort, we need to understand how it deceives us. Because comfort is not honest. Comfort is a liar disguised as your best friend, right? But let me paint this small picture of how the enemy of comfort operates. Well, not the enemy of comfort, the enemy that is comfort, how it operates, right? And let me know if you're feeling this information, man. If this information resonates with you, let me know in the chat, Rolly, right? And let me paint a picture for you on how this enemy operates. From the time you were young, right? You were sold a script. Go to school, right? Get good grades, right? Get a stable job, right? Work 40 years, right? Retire at 65, right? And here's the lie embedded in that truth. Once you achieve comfort, you've succeeded. That is ass backwards, I tell you, man. That is so ass backwards. Comfort isn't the reward for success. It's the enemy of continued success. Think about it like this. The fired up train, right? The fired up train has 6 cars that we've talked about in previous episodes. We talked about focus. We talked about intensity. We've talked about resilience. We talked about excellence. We talked about greatness. We've talked about discipline. We've talked about unstoppable mindset. We've talked about purpose. I threw a couple cars in there, but the core was the 6. And every single one of those cars requires you to be uncomfortable, right? You can't have intense focus while being comfortable. You can't maintain high intensity while being comfortable. You can't build resilience without uncomfortable challenges. You can't achieve excellence through comfortable actions. You can't develop discipline without uncomfortable choices, people. Listen. Comfort and the fired up train run on different tracks. You got to choose one, baby. You got to choose one. And let me tell you, listen, stay with me. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you change that channel. You stay right there. Don't go nowhere, right? When I was deployed, Afghanistan, Iraq, right? We had a saying, complacency can cause you to be unalive, right? Not could, can. The enemy didn't attack during chaos. They waited for you to be comfortable, to let your guard down, to relax your standards. That's when danger was the highest. And look, one day, after weeks of relative calm, I noticed, of course, soldiers getting comfortable, right? People thought they were they thought they were back at home, right? Equipment checks were getting sloppy, protocols being rushed, vigilance dropped, comfort was creeping in. And I had to make a decision, right? And I had to make a decision. I had to call it out. I said, hey, listen up, people. I had to start holding people accountable. We need to raise the standard here. Everybody's getting comfortable, right? And that was uncomfortable. I wasn't popular that day. And listen, I wasn't popular on many of days like that. But you know what? That discomfort, I know, would save people, because the moment we got comfortable was the moment we were most vulnerable, right? Now, most of you listening aren't on a literal battlefield. You're on a different kind of battlefield, right? The battlefield of entrepreneurship, uh, the battlefield of health, right? The battlefield of relationships, right? The battlefield of dealing with your finances, right? And the battlefield that a lot of us are dealing with, like personal development, where comfortable habits can lead to regret, right? And the enemy is on all of these battlefields. It's the same enemy. Comfort is telling you that good enough is acceptable. It's telling you that it's acceptable. Comfort lies. Comfort lies, right? And one of the main lies that comfort tells, it tells you that you earned the right to relax. You've earned the right to relax. The truth is this: you've earned the right to rest strategically, not relax permanently. Rest is recovery for the next push. Relaxation is giving up the push altogether, right? Those are bars, man. Those are bars if I've never heard it, right? Compare yourself to most people is how you become average. Most people are what? Most people are comfortable. Yeah, most people are comfortable. Most people are mediocre. Most people have regrets. You didn't tune in to the Final Boss podcast to be most people, right? Staying comfortable is the biggest risk. The world is constantly changing. Your industries are constantly evolving. Your competition is constantly improving. And if you're not growing, you are simply being slowly unalive, right? Comfort is slow, quiet sleep disguised as safety. disguised as safety. And you hear your brain say, oh, I don't have time to grow right now. Oh, Mr. Final Boss, stop it. I don't have time to grow. Listen, what you don't have time to do is not to grow. You don't have time not to grow. Every day you stay comfortable is a day your competition gets better. Every day you avoid discomfort is a day you move backwards. Every single day, right? Every single day you choose comfort, you're deciding to move backwards. Things never settle down. That's the truth of the matter. Things never settle, right? Life never gets easier. You get stronger, but only through embracing discomfort, not by avoiding it, right? But here's what I want you to understand. Final bosses, motivators, warriors, smarts. Comfort is sophisticated. It doesn't announce itself as your enemy. It masquerades as wisdom, as balance, as self-care, as being realistic. Right? Stay with me. Don't you go nowhere. Stay with me. But underneath all those masks, comfort is the voice telling you to play small, dream small, achieve small. And we're going to be exposing that. We're going to be exposing that voice. We're going to call it what it is. We're going to war against comfort because you can't board the fired up train while sitting in the comfort zone. You've got to make a choice. Now, let's get tactical, people. Let's get tactical. Let's identify exactly where comfort is hiding in your life right now. Yes, I'm talking to you. Because comfort is sneaky. It doesn't attack from the front. It infiltrates. Right? From within. It disguises itself as reasonable choices, practical decisions, and just for now, compromises. Listen. Listen. This is where comfort attacks your learning and your skill development. You've achieved a certain level of competence, right? We all have. And you're pretty good at what you do. We're all pretty good at what we do. You know enough to get by, to maintain your current position, to stay employed. And comfort whispers, big fella, you know enough. You don't need to keep learning. You're experienced now. And guess what? That's how you become obsolete. Right? I started SatDigiNet, or Saturn Digital Networks Development Corporation. I started it. It's a disabled, veteran-owned business in IT services and cybersecurity. And if I got comfortable with what I knew 5 years ago, I'd be out of business. Technology evolves. Threats evolve. Client needs evolve. The moment I stop learning is the moment SatDigiNet starts dying. And listen, man, this is real talk. When was the last time you read a book that challenged your thinking? When was the last time you took a course that made you feel like a beginner again? When was the last time you admitted you didn't know something and sought to learn it? Don't you go nowhere. I see you. Stay right there. Sit down. Stay with me. If you can't answer those questions with recently, you're in the I know enough zone, the comfort zone, the zone that is quietly stealing your competitive advantage. Remember when we spoke about the cornerstone of magnificence? Remember that? We talked about it in a few other episodes, right? Right? One of those cornerstones is continuous improvement. You can improve from a comfortable position of knowing enough. This is where comfort attacks your growth. And we're speaking of financial growth. You have a steady paycheck, bills are getting paid, and you're not in a crisis. Life is managing. And comfort whispers, don't risk what you have. Don't start that business. Don't ask for that raise. Don't invest in yourself. Stay safe. But here's the truth. A safe income is often capped income. When you trade time for money in a comfortable job, there's a ceiling, right? Your income can only grow as fast as your raises. And some of us we're only getting raises once a year, right? Your wealth can only grow as fast as your savings rate. Your impact can only grow as fast as the position allows. Look, I could have stayed comfortable as an IT professional with a steady government job, good salary, good benefits, comfortable retirement plan. But I would never been able to build Saturn Digital Networks Development Corp. I would have never been able to build the Final Boss Podcast, LLC, right? I would have never been able to do any of those things, right? If I was comfortable. I took the uncomfortable leap from the safe income. And that changed everything. Now, I'm not saying everything or everyone needs to go out here and quit their job tomorrow. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if you have a safe income is an excuse not to build something bigger or comfort is winning or to be happy and blessed with what you have. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is things like side hustles are uncomfortable. Business building is uncomfortable. Investing is uncomfortable. Multiple income streams are all uncomfortable. But you know what's more uncomfortable? Being 65 with regrets about what you could have built but didn't because you stayed safe. I always say this. There's a heavy price, a heavy pain that comes with discipline. But the pain of regret is even heavier. The pain of regret, right? A lot of us are living with the pain of regret right now. And look, this is where comfort attacks your personal relationships and network. Yes, we all have friends. Yes, you may or may not have a partner, but we're going to be talking about those who have a partner, right? You have a partner. You have a network. That's fine, but that's not great, right? It's not terrible. It's just comfortable, right? And comfort whispers, don't rock the boat. Don't have the hard conversations. Don't expand your circle, right? What you have is good enough. That's what comfort says, right? But good enough relationships don't push you toward greatness. They don't push you toward greatness, right? They enable mediocrity. Look, in previous episodes, man, we talked about relationship capital as one of the 6 building blocks of reward, right? We talked about needing 3 types of relationships: mentors who are ahead of you, peers who are beside you, and mentees who are behind you, right? But building those relationships is uncomfortable. You have to reach out to mentors. That's uncomfortable. Maintaining peer accountability is uncomfortable. Investing in mentees is uncomfortable. So most people stay comfortable. They stay comfortable in their relationships they know. People who don't challenge them. People who don't push them. People who don't hold them accountable. Your network determines your net worth. Your relationships determine your results. And comfortable relationships produce comfortable results. Look, this is where comfort disguises itself in productivity, right? The I'm too busy zone. I'm too busy, right? Stay with me. Don't you leave. Don't you go nowhere. Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Stay with us, right? This is that busy talk. My calendar is full. Always doing something. My emails. I got meetings and tasks and obligations. And comfort is saying, you're too busy to work on your real goals. Busy work doesn't equate to growth. If you're not working on real goals, if you're too busy to train, if you're too busy to learn, you're too busy to build, then you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. But busy doesn't equal productivity or being productive. Motion doesn't equal progress. This is comfort's most clever disguise. It makes you feel like you're working hard while keeping you from working on what matters. I see this all the time. You can turn on the TV and see it. Busy. People being busy. Oh, we got this going on. Oh, we have that going on. Oh, we just did this. All busy work. But nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. You need to we see it, man. We see it all the time. Talking to people the other day who say they're too busy to work on a business idea, too busy to go to the gym, to read a book, build on whatever skills they have, invest in real relationships, or even plan for their future. I'm too busy. But somehow they have time to doom scroll on social media or watch whatever programs that they find for entertainment, right? And complain about, I'm too busy, right? That's not busy. That's comfortable avoidance. And look, the momentum code we discussed before requires that you spend time on high impact activities, right? Not just high volume activities. The fired up train doesn't run on busy. It runs on purposeful action. And, I'm going to start it on Monday. Every single Monday. And you continue. I'm going to start it on Monday. This is where comfort attacks your timing. You have goals, you have plans, you have ideas, but you're waiting for Monday. You're waiting for next month, after the holiday, when things calm down, when you have more money, when you feel more ready. And comfort whispers, the timing is isn't right. Wait until the conditions are perfect. But perfect conditions never come. The timing is never ideal, and you are never completely ready. Waiting for perfect conditions is how you waste your entire life in comfort. Or someday. I'll do it someday. I will work out someday. I will plan someday, right? And let me hit you with this hard truth from my military experience, right? Even in trainings, battlefield, any of those things, we never encountered the perfect conditions. You get the conditions you get, you execute anyway. You execute anyway. Perfect conditions are comfortable. Real growth happens in imperfect conditions. Knife hand. Bars. When I started the Final Boss podcast, conditions weren't perfect. I've never started a podcast before. I had no clue of what I was doing or getting my hands into. Somebody said my final boss is a person. That is hilarious. Thanks for the humor, man. I appreciate you. I didn't have professional equipment when I started. I didn't have a huge audience. I didn't have complete technical knowledge on how to set this equipment up. But I started anyway. Episode number 1, in my opinion, to where I'm at now, was disastrous. But I started anyway. 4 episodes per week. When I first started 4 episodes per week was crazy, uncomfortable. But that discomfort created the momentum that built this community, the Final Boss community, the Final Boss Nation, right? My smarts, my final bosses, my warriors, my motivators. And right now, right? I want you to identify which comfort zone has the strongest grip on you, right? Hey, Cortez. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm talking to you. What's your what comfort zone has a strong grip on you? What got the strongest grip on you right now, buddy? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat, right? Is it the I know enough zone? Is it the I make enough money, I'm in a safe income zone? Is it my relationship is just good enough zone? Is it that I'm in the I'm too busy zone? Or is it I'm gonna start on next Monday zone? Which one is it? And look, be honest, right? Be honest, because you can't board the fired up train until you know which station you're stuck at, right? Now look, there's a real cost that comes with comfort, because comfort isn't free. You're paying for it with something far more valuable than money. You're paying for it with your potential. Now, let me break that down exactly what comfort is costing you in each and every last single area of your life. Remember this, right? I remember we were talking about the 6 building blocks of reward, and we were talking about the first building block, which was vision clarity. Remember, we were talking about vision clarity a couple of weeks ago. And we talked about having crystal clear clarity and knowing your 10-year destination, right? But here's what comfort does to your vision. It makes you settle for less than what you're capable of. Comfort says that dream is too big. That vision is unrealistic. Who are you to want that anyway? Other people can do that, but not you, not you. Hey, buddy. Hey, big buddy. You need to scale it back. Scale it back to something manageable, right? And slowly and perceptibility, your vision shrinks to fit your comfort zone. You start with a vision to build a $1 million company. But comfort scales it all the way back to I'm okay with what I'm making, right? Because you got uncomfortable. You start with a vision to transform an industry, but comfort says, just keep my day job, right? You start with a vision to impact thousands of lives, but comfort says, I'll just take care of myself, right? And that's the highest cost of comfort. It doesn't just slow you down, it makes you aim lower. It makes you aim lower. When I started out Trinity Entertainment, right? People thought I was crazy. People thought I was crazy. That was a record label I had. They were like, be realistic, they said. They said, start smaller, they said. You putting too much on the line. You're going to risk it all, they said. That was comfort speaking through other people's mouths. And if I had listened, if I had scaled my vision down to fit their comfort levels, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what I accomplished with our Trinity Entertainment, our Trinity Music Group, right? I wouldn't have been able to do that. But what has comfort cost your vision? What did you used to dream about that you no longer even consider? That's not maturity. That's compromise. That's costing you time. And here's an uncomfortable truth. Every day you spend uncomfortable is a day you can never get back. You can never get it back. You can never get it back. Time is the only resource you can't even earn enough of or more of, for that fact. You can make more money. You can build more skills. You can develop more relationships, but you can't make more time. And comfort is stealing your time. Every day you don't start that business is a day you can't compound business growth. Every day you don't invest in learning is a day you can't have compound knowledge. Every day you don't build your physical vitality is a day you can't compound health. Your day, every day you don't work on discipline architecture is a day you can't compound habit strength. And this, my friends, is where the momentum code we talked about has more meaning to it, because it's about small actions, right? It's about micro transactions, small actions that compound over time and equals massive results. But comfort prevents you from starting the compound interest clock. You know what's painful? You know what's painful, man? Hold on. I need to drink some of my trusty lemonade. Meeting someone at 65 who spent 40 comfortable years in a job they hated, avoiding the uncomfortable work of building something meaningful. They can't get those years back. And that's the time cost of comfort. And you know what else? It has a capability cost as well. And here's something that most people don't even realize. Comfort doesn't just prevent you from using your capabilities, it erodes them, right? Think about physical vitality, one of our 6 building blocks of reward. If you stop training, you don't maintain your strength. You lose it. Muscle start having atrophy in it. Endurance fades. Flexibility decreases. The same principle applies to every area. Mental capabilities, emotional capabilities, financial capabilities, leadership capabilities. Every day you stay comfortable, you're not just staying stagnant, you're moving backwards in capability while the world moves forward in complexity. And there's a cost. There's a respect cost in that. And this one's going to hurt, right? But that's what we're here for. This is why we're part of the Final Boss community and Final Boss Nation, and why we watch the Final Boss podcast, so we can have those difficult conversations and come up with solutions. We're solution driven over here, right? And this one right here is going to hurt. Comfortable people don't command respect, not from others, and more importantly, not from themselves, right? Think about the people you respect most. Are they people who played it safe? Are they people who stayed comfortable? Are they people who never took risk? No. You respect the people who did the hard things, uncomfortable things, scary things, the people who push past their comfort zones and achieve something difficult. When you live comfortably, you lose respect for yourself, because deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know you're playing small. You know you're avoiding what you should have been doing. And what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that internal disrespect, that gap between who you are and who you could be, that's painful. That's the voice at 2 a.m. reminding you of your wasted potential. That's the regret that builds over years of comfortable choices. The cornerstone of magnificence includes character, and character isn't built in comfort. It's built in conflict with comfort, right? And legacy, it will cost you legacy. And matter of fact, let's talk about legacy. What will people say when you're gone? They're going to say, oh, they were comfortable. Oh, they played it safe. Oh, they didn't take unnecessary risks. Or they going to say, Final Boss was unstoppable. They're going to say Final Boss was unstoppable. They're going to say he built something meaningful. They're going to say he inspired others to be brave in the Final Boss community and the Final Boss Nation. My smarts, my warriors, my motivators, and lastly, my final bosses. Your legacy is being written right now. Every comfortable choice is a sentence to that story. Every uncomfortable action is a new chapter. I think about my daughter Chai every single moment, every single day. And what I ask myself is, what story do I want to leave her? Right? Did daddy play it safe? Or did daddy build businesses, served his country, led soldiers, impacted communities, and showed her that great things require uncomfortable work? I'm building a legacy for her, not a comfortable one, a significant one, right? And the fired up train doesn't stop at the comfort station. It's headed to legacy station, right? But you've got to board it. You got to get on the fired up train. And right now, Final Bosses, we've exposed comfort. We've identified where it hides, where we calculated what it does. Now let's talk about the alternative. Let's talk about the growth zone, where the fired up train actually runs, right? And there are 3 growth zones: the comfort zone, the growth zone, the panic zone. And most people spend their lives in zone 1 with an occasional spike into zone 2. Right? They don't go into zone 3 unless it's for crisis. They avoid zone 2. They avoid the second zone. And that's where actual growth happens. And here's the key. The fired up train runs exclusively in that zone, the growth zone, right? But let me break down each of those train cars of the fired up train and what they look like, right? Right? F is for focus. I is for intensity. R is for resilience. E is for excellence. D is for discipline. U is for unstoppable. P is for purpose. And purpose is the fuel that keeps the fired up train moving through zone 2, which is the growth zone, right? And man, this is how you start to have a warfare mindset by defeating comfort. By defeating comfort. Defeating comfort isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily battle. Every single morning you wake up, comfort is right there waiting to negotiate with you. You skip the workout today because you're tired. You start the project tomorrow. You one episode instead of 4 this week won't hurt. Talking about us, the Final Boss podcast, right? And you sleep in because you feel like you deserve it, right? That's how comfort gets a hold of you, right? In military operations, you don't make strategic decisions in the heat of battle. You make them before you have contact with the enemy. Same with comfort. You don't wait at 5 a.m. when your alarm goes off to decide if you're going to wake up, or you decide the night before, or decide a week in advance. You decide as a part of your identity. It's a decision, right? It is a part of you. You don't wait until you're in the front of the refrigerator to decide what you're eating. You pre-decide, meal prep, plan your nutrition, remove the decision point. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing, people. And listen, man, having too much fun out here. Having too much fun. And, you know, when you're having too much fun, you just can't have enough of it. And we're, 56 minutes in? Boy, what a ways to go. What a ways to go, good people. Let me tell you. Man, here's the uncomfortable truth. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to tell you something about most motivation speakers. And they're not going to tell you this. Every success story you admire, every achievement you respect, every transformation you find inspiring, none of them happened in the comfort zone. Let me destroy some of those myths, right? People think once you achieve, life gets easier, right? Once you build a business, life gets comfortable. Once you get in shape, maintaining it is easy. Those are all lies. Those are all lies about comfort. And the truth is this: success doesn't get easier. You get stronger, right? It doesn't get easier. The challenges become harder, right? It becomes harder. But the fired up train doesn't reach a destination where it can coast. It reaches new stations with new challenges, but you get stronger from the journey. You get stronger through the journey. And being aboard on a fired up train to the you who you're meant to be. Listen, and I'm going to go over a little bit, right? I'm going to go over because this I'm going to close out. I'll probably go 10 minutes. So I started kind of late too. I was rambling. I was rambling early on. So, did you just agree with me rambling? Chakandi, what are you doing? What is going on? That's great. What is going on? But look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is why this matters. And I want to shift tactics for a minute, right? Because everything we talked about tonight, defeating comfort, embracing discomfort, riding the fired up train, it all comes down to this one question. One question. And you have to ask yourself this: what legacy are you building? What legacy are you building? Write it down in the chat. This is the ultimate weapon against comfort. because comfort wants you living for today, but legacy requires you living for tomorrow and beyond. And let me show you something, right? Let me show you how viewing life through a legacy lens changes everything, right? Right? The comfort lens will say, hey, you should skip that workout. You're tired. The legacy lens says, should I skip this workout? My daughter is watching how I handle discomfort. What am I teaching her? See the difference? Legacy context makes comfortable choices harder. Should I take this risk in business? No, comfort says, stay small. Legacy land says, should I take this risk in business? I want to show my daughter that calculated risk built our family's wealth. What example am I setting? Right? You have to look at it from a legacy. You have to start looking at life from a legacy lens. Start asking those legacy questions, right? And look, I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's uncomfortable. But if you live comfortably, what will exist because you existed? Very little. Remember, comfortable lives leave small footprints. Those are bars. But if you live uncomfortable lives, building business, developing people, creating content, serving communities, pushing boundaries, you leave massive footprints, right? Sat Diginet will outlast me. Find a Boss podcast will outlast me. It will employ people after I'm gone. It will serve clients after I'm gone. And that exists because I chose uncomfortable entrepreneurship over comfortable employment. The Final Boss podcast will remain accessible. They remain accessible. They become archive, history, information that will continuously be there. It's out there. They will continuously influence people long after I'm gone. That exists because I chose uncomfortable consistency over comfortable sporadic effort. My daughter's character, shaped by watching me choose growth over comfort. And her mother is amazing. Her mother, I got to give her mother credit. She's amazing. Those things will exist in her choices long after either one of us are gone. What will exist because you existed? That's the uncomfortable truth you need to ask yourself about legacy. Because legacy isn't built in the comfort zone. It has never have, never will. Zero exceptions. Every legacy you admire, every business that transformed an industry, every leader who changed history, every athlete who redefined what is possible, every artist who created something timeless, none of that would have happened if they were comfortable. Legacy requires uncomfortable risk, uncomfortable consistency, uncomfortable sacrifice, uncomfortable standards, uncomfortable vulnerability. Stay with me. We're almost done. Stay with me. But here's what makes it worth it, right? Legacy building discomfort creates meaning that comfort can never provide. Comfortable lives feel empty, even when they're pleasant. You feel unfulfilling because humans aren't wired for comfort. We're wired for contribution. Uncomfortable lives and lives aligned with purpose. Purpose feel full. Even when they're challenging, they're fulfilling because you're building something larger than yourself. You have to make the decision whether or not you want to take the legacy choice, the uncomfortable choice, right? You have to let go the easy choices, the low risk, the minimal stress, the small footprint, the high regret. And you have to start building that legacy life, the hard choices, the calculated risk, the strategic discomfort, the massive footprint, and deep fulfillment, right? The fired up train isn't headed to comfort station. It's headed to legacy station. And the ticket price is your willingness to be uncomfortable for something bigger than yourself. And look, we're coming to an end. We're coming to an end. We're coming to a close, right? Final bosses, motivators, smarts, and warriors. We've covered a lot during this philosophy. We've talked about the psychology. We've talked about the strategy. Now, and we've talked about being tactical. But look, here's my call to action to you. For the next 7 days, I want you to wage war against your comfort. I don't want, not tomorrow, not someday. I want you to start right now, right? I want you to start right now. And depending on wherever you are, it might be bedtime for you, but if it is, start the next morning. And this is what I want you to start. I want you to start with morning victory. When morning victory is when it's the first battle in the day, it's waking up, right? Set your alarm. If you have an alarm, I haven't had an alarm I've never had an alarm, as a matter of fact. But if you have an alarm, start your alarm 30 minutes earlier than usual. Place it across the room so you don't get a chance to hit the snooze button. It makes it impossible. If you're working out, have your workout clothes ready. When the alarm sounds, let it go off for 5 seconds, right? This is how you start with winning the first victory or the first battle in the morning, right? Because winning the morning battle sets the tone for the day. If comfort wins at 5 a.m., then it grows and has momentum for the entire day. But if you win at 5 a.m., you have momentum, right? You have momentum. You get up, like you said, you work out, like you said, you do the things that you planned to do. You declare war on physical comfort, right? That's how you start. That's how you start. And then for the rest of the day, you are making sure that you're making those uncomfortable decisions. You can't defeat comfort alone if everyone around you is celebrating it. So you need to make sure that the people around you are not celebrating it. You've honored it. Look, wait a minute. Those are bars. Those are bars. And when so many people complain about money and their finances. You wouldn't be complaining about those finances if you made some difficult decisions early on. You complain about those finances because you are financially comfort. Financially comfort keeps you broke. Financial discomfort builds wealth. But first, you need truth about where comfort is costing you. And that's what you need to understand. You need to know the truth, right? The truth hurts, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. And this is what we do, man, on the Final Boss podcast. This is what we do. We talk about the truth. And we come up with solutions to people's problems. Right? That's what we do. So Final Bosses, motivators, smarts, warriors. In closing, because we're at the end of this episode number 145, and I know I've talked about a lot, but this isn't really an ending. This is a beginning, right? Because tonight we've exposed comfort in all of us. We've exposed comfort as the enemy. We've identified where it hides, how it attacks, what it costs, and how to defeat it. We've connected this battle to every framework we've taught thus far, from the 6 building blocks of reward, the cornerstone of magnificence, momentum code, the 6 pillars of success, all to get aboard the fired up train. All of it. Every framework, every principle, every strategy requires one thing: your willingness to be uncomfortable. Let me leave you with this, right? When I was in Afghanistan, we had 2 soldiers. I'm gonna call them Soldier A, Soldier B, right? Soldier A constantly looked for comfort, took the easy assignments, did minimal required training, avoided difficult challenges, complained about conditions, looked for ways to coast. That person stayed a particular rank for 15 years, right? While Soldier B constantly chose discomfort, volunteered for challenging assignments, trained beyond requirements, sought difficult problems to solve, adapted to conditions without complaint, looked for ways to improve. Both survived the deployment, both came home, both had the same opportunities, but one was promoted where one wasn't, right? And 10 years later, their lives looked completely different. Soldier A remained comfortable, same rate, same position, same income, same capability. High regret with what could have been, leading a certain mafia, while Soldier B transformed, promoted multiple times, expanded responsibilities, multiplied their income, developed rare capabilities, deep fulfillment on the things that they built. They both had the same starting point. They both had the same opportunities, but different choices about comfort. Let that right there marinate in your spine, people. Let it marinate in your spine. That's the story of everyone's life. Final bosses, motivators, smarts, and warriors. You're either Soldier A or you're Soldier B. And the determining factor isn't talent. It isn't opportunity. It isn't circumstance. The determining factor is your relationship with discomfort. The final choice, right? The final choice right now, as you're standing at the fired up train station, there are 2 trains available. Train 1, the comfort train. Smooth ride, no turbulence, familiar route, arrives at mediocrity station. You'll have regrets. But train 2, the fired up train. Intense ride, constant challenge, unknown territory, arrives at legacy station, and you will have fulfillment about what you built. Both trains are boarding. You must choose which one you're going to get on. There is no third option. Indecision is a decision. It's choosing the comfort train by default or the fired up train, right? If you're boarding the fired up train, here's your public commitment. In the live chat right now, type in, I'm boarding the fired up train. Make it public, make it real, make it uncomfortable to back out. And then starting tomorrow, you start your 7-day war plan. You track your victories. You report back to the community, and you join us for the next episode, right? The community will hold you accountable. You're not doing this alone. You're part of the Final Boss community. Final Bosses, they're the leaders. Warriors, they're the fighters. Motivators are the inspirational people. They inspire. And my smarts, they're the thinkers who demand excellence. We're all on the fired up train together. We're all choosing discomfort over comfort. We're all building legacies instead of comfortable lives. And when comfort attacks you this week, because it will, you come back to this community, share your struggle, ask for support, and get accountability. And this is a reminder. Everything we've built on this podcast, the cornerstone of magnificence, the momentum code, the 6 building blocks of reward, the 6 pillars of success, the fired up train, it all comes down to this. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and you get to choose which side you're on. You choose comfort, you have an easy life with hard regrets. You choose discomfort, you'll have a hard life with 0 regrets. I know which one I'm choosing. I'm choosing to build businesses that outlast me. I'm choosing to develop leaders who multiply impact. I'm choosing to create content that transforms lives. I'm choosing to model excellence for my daughter. I'm choosing to serve the veteran community. I'm choosing to build a legacy. All that requires is uncomfortable choices every single day. I'm making those choices because I'm boarded the fired up train and I'm not getting off. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? This has been episode number 145. I am the Final Boss. This is the Final Boss Podcast. This is the Final Boss Nation. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow night for Tech Tuesdays with our SME, the one and only, the Sensei, every Tuesday. And then join us on Thursday for our special guest Thursday. Get uncomfortable, stay dangerous, become undeniable. And most importantly, all aboard the fired up train. The train is leaving the station. Are you on it? Let's go. That's our show for tonight, man. Y'all have a great evening. It's been fun, and that's my time. Good night. Oh, and let all that marinate in your spine. And for each and every single last one of you, no matter where you are, what time you're watching, and where you're watching, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And remember, be balanced, be equal, and most importantly, be smart. Y'all have a good evening. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Welcome to the Final Boss Podcast, where microphones and mushroom clouds collide in the most mind-blowing chats. We're talking explosive topics, fiery debates, and the hottest guests. Imagine a creative space background, spacey vibes, and out-of-this-world conversations. It's like chilling with your best buddies, but with way cooler sound effects. Every episode, we take on the universe's biggest questions. You know, the stuff that keeps you up at night. And we do it with a bang. Want to know what happens when you mix gaming, movies, and pop culture? Boom! You get the Final Boss Podcast. So plug in those earbuds and get ready for a wild ride. Whether you're commuting, chilling, or just need a break, we've got your back. Hit that follow button and join us on this cosmic journey. Trust me, you don't want to miss these explosive chats. Catch the Final Boss Podcast now, where every episode is a blast. Stay tuned and stay awesome. Final Boss Podcast, bringing the boom to you.